Hello everyone. So today's video is going to around the topic of co-creating with the eternal spirit. So the idea of this premise and with this aim is to produce unknown outcomes through unknown methods. Ultimately, with the umbrella aim of bridging the higher and lower, the material and immaterial, or heaven and earth, however you wish to contextualize this. So the main barriers to entry of this journey, of this aim, or this practice is firstly desire, secondly control, and thirdly an attachment to the known, or to comfort, or to tradition. You know, the rigidity of stone. You know, becoming sort of complacent in the known, stuck in the known, in the cycle, in the never-ending cycle of the known. So with the idea of this ultimately is to break free from that, to emerge from this dynamic, giving birth, giving rise to something new fundamentally. So this practice for sure is not quick and easy. It is enduring. It requires tremendous will in the face of turbulence and pain, suffering, but it also comes with its delights, of course. You know, transcendence, birth, joy, presence being the most vital. So these are things to consider, because it's not as simple as giving birth. It's not as simple as just co-creating. It's a complex process that is done over an eternal time. You know, through various different lifetimes, we will come back and re-emerge, interacting with the same discussion, dynamic, dance, display, and we will ultimately collectively move along this process with the aim of transmuting the current state into another state. Creation, fundamentally. The reason why we're here now, the reason why I'm doing this here now, creating. You know, moving from the idea, the immaterial, into this video, the material, which is the process, which is the process. You know, the dynamic of the co-creating with the eternal spirit is this sort of this communication, this connection with higher and lower, as I said earlier. So if you are serious, or you may already be along your own journey, as I said earlier, the three sort of barriers that, for me personally, that I've come across and still come across, you know, it's not something that you sort of tick off a list and say, right, well, we've done that now. Like I said earlier, you know, over various lifetimes and there's various moments in this specific lifetime, you're going to keep coming back and forth with this sort of aspect or conundrum, dilemma, or unbalance, and you're going to tackle it from different angles, and you're gonna it's like an artist, you know. There may be 100 people that will paint an apple, but there may be 100 different expressions of how that person perceives the apple and how they want to express the apple. So it's the same principle with consciousness and that co-creation with the eternal spirit, that consciousness bridging down meaning into matter, because that's ultimately what we're doing. You know, when you say the eternal spirit and creating of that, is ultimately the material with the immaterial. So like with the apple, you're trying to bridge down bring down, translate your own expression of that relationship, to come away from this video with your own ideas, your own connection, and your own expression, with the intention of sort of allowing people who you come in contact with, or to encourage people who you come in contact with to deliver their own expression. And then through this sort of collective mediation, and over being time tested of these various interpretations, a unified expression or concept will emerge from that, from these collective ideas and expressions of consciousness, or through the bridging of the channeling of through the co-creating with the eternal spirit, through its various expressions over time, over the stress testing of these various ideas, will emerge a united vision, a concept that people can, or communities or societies can operate around, act in unison with, and ultimately bridge, like I said earlier, meaning into matter. So these are things that are important, because if we're not creating, then well, basically the idea is to come into contact with the true origin of why we're here. In the advent of technology, and with phones and with internet, and we can fly all over the world now, and crazy things have emerged which have had phenomenally positive outcomes. However, we are confronted with the tendency for complacency in our current climate of technological progression, because it's easy to sit around and to declare, well, we've done it now. I can just sit at home, watch TV, I can go on the internet, I can watch YouTube, I can play games, which of course, are fine in their own time and place. Of course, it's a balance in life. But if life becomes purely around comfort and pleasure, well then the urge for creation, the seed of creation will never be planted, because it gets to a point where we become so in love with ourselves. We're so, with sort of delusions of grandeur almost, where we're sort of complacent with our technological progress, that we sit back and we go, well, we don't need to strive anymore. We don't need to extend the boundaries anymore, and that's not an accurate representation of the true essence of humanity. It really isn't, and there is a vast world out there waiting to be discovered, whether it's in a conscious plane, or as we move closer to the cosmic community beyond earthbound existence and consciousness. Well, it's twofold. It's exploring and moving beyond the parameters of the earthbound consciousness, the inner, and literally expanding the earthbound plane into the cosmic, as we look to broaden the species physically onto other planets and into the cosmic community. So these are the terrains: inner, outer, heaven, earth, corporal and material and immaterial. Again, there's that dynamic playing out. So these are the, basically, I won't get too cozy with the idea that because we got phones and internet and we got, technology, at all kinds of technology at our disposal, doesn't mean that, that's a sort of, and I've faced this many times, it's the lack of meaning is corrosive in today's current climate, because a lot of us feel lost. You get a job and you have money and you have a house and you have the internet and you got a phone and everything's taken care of. And so the adventure, the expansion, the creational element of life seems to have gone. It's not gone. We're trying to figure out the new direction, and as far as I can tell, I mean, obviously these are my opinions. If you have your own directions and ideas of expansion and creation, then you need to follow those. But at least for my part, this is what I've been narrowing in, you know, because for me, as you know, this is a shared experience, you know. The sort of the corrosive quality of nihilism has entered my heart many times, and in moments, you know, still do, you know, because it can become overwhelming. It's just, you look around and you just think, boy, you know, where is the room to move into? Where can I contribute? What can I do that? Because you look around and it's just, the world, obviously there's issues in the world, but I mean, we're inundated with abundance for the most part, and with technology, it's just, boy, how do I, you know, you can easily discern that we've sort of reached a plateau, but that's not the case. Not as far as I can tell anyway, not as far as I can tell from what I've been, what would you say, come into contact with through my own disintegration of interpretation, you know, which is the paramount process of coming into contact with meaning and creation, because you're going to be confronted time and time again with this idea that you know what the future holds, you know what the current climate is, you know, you have the answers. So if you do truly want to move or rhyme or act in alignment with the eternal spirit, or however you want to call it, I mean, it's a poetic perspective to call it that, but you know, it's an eternal form of creation that we as humanity are riding, and whether you want to join that ride will require you to fundamentally critique your egoic projections onto reality, which can easily come out with answers or outcomes that are nihilistic and hopeless and despair. And so you will be confronted with these interpretations, these egoic, rigidic interpretations that are built into rigidity, built into stone, that lack movement, you know. So to collaborate with the eternal spirit is movement. It's fluid, it is eternal, it is this constant state of rehashing the same and re-emerging with new outcomes from the same source. It's, you know, it's very complicated. It's very complex. So yes, if I was to take anything from this video, it would be coming head on with your egoic projections onto the world, which can often become nihilistic and hopeless, and to start to really focus on not just, oh, you know, the eternal spirit or God or spirituality, however you want to reference the dynamic or relationship, instead of focusing, because in order to connect with that concept or with that quality, you're going to have to eradicate a lot of what is currently blocking the relationship or the light within your own body. You're going to have to start from the foundation of critiquing and stripping back qualities that you've built up within your body, your psychological body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, your karmic body, that are currently blocking and hindering and resisting that relationship. And when you can move out of your own way fundamentally, that is when the lights will pour in. That is when the collaboration and the musings will appear in your ear. Fundamentally, it's just this hearing. You're not, you know, it's not a sort of practice, you're forcing, you're trying to, in a material world, you want to build something, you get some material, you get nails and a hammer and you bang it in. This is more of a dance. You're trying to rhythmically align yourself, listen to the beats, and ultimately trust that it will take you somewhere more meaningful and allow you to create more beauty than you currently are. So we'll leave it there, and I hope you can, in your own way, discover your own relationship and create your own expressions that allow people in your surrounding circle to receive inspiration, to follow in your footsteps, and to create their own ideas around this topic. So yeah. With that, I will wish you luck, and I will see you next time. Bye.